Special delivery.
Thank you.
Well, you're surprisingly focused. Did you find an idea for your story? I'm so proud of you. I'm sure it's gonna... And nope, that is Meadow and Why Tangled is your favorite Disney movie.
It's really good, Ree.
Okay, I understand that, but you have a paper due at 9 a.m. and you haven't even started outlining.
I just have zero inspiration for this story. And the later it gets, the more anxious I am, and it's just an awful vicious cycle.
And that's why you made me buy you cookies at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday night.
Yes, Kimmy.
Well, lucky for you, I'm the world's greatest girlfriend, and I wrote something for you just in case.
Wouldn't that be cheating?
Trust me, this story belongs to both of us. This is the story of how I almost died. Well, not really. This is the story of a princess. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful, smart, amazing princess who was about to begin ruling her kingdom all by herself. She was scared, but she knew that whatever happened, she would always have her trusty knight by her side to protect her. The knight was in love with the princess and fought valiantly to protect both her and the kingdom she was about to inherit. But although the knight was fearless in the face of enemy blades and ferocious dragons, her knees went weak at the sight of her beautiful princess. The knight had to remain stoic and brave in order to properly protect her princess, or so she thought. One day a prince from a far-off land came to visit the princess. He was decent looking, and his kingdom was quite powerful. He fell madly in love with the princess, and soon the princess returned his feelings. The knight was heartbroken, but she resolved to help her princess find a happily ever after, because, after all, it was her job and her duty to protect the crown in every way possible. However, the decent-looking prince turned out to be exceptionally unskilled in the art of wooing.
Ree.
The knight helped the prince to woo the princess. She wrote love letters from him, pouring her heart out. She told the prince how to act and what to say to win the heart of the fair princess. The princess was happy, but the knight wasn't. It killed her every day, knowing that the princess that she loved so dearly was in love with someone else. She felt alone and miserable. What neither the prince, the princess, or knight realized is that there was an evil sorcerer who wanted to use the princess by marrying her and becoming king. He transported the prince into a mystical realm that he could not escape from. But what he didn't count on was the princess' everlasting loyalty. She remained devoted to the prince and refused to marry the sorcerer. She became determined to find her love. Meanwhile, the prince was stuck in a lonely place with just his thoughts for company, and he realized he was wrong to use the knight's words to woo the princess. The princess didn't give up her search until she found him, but by that time he was so racked with guilt that he refused her and sent her away. She was confused and heartbroken. The princess returned to her knight, who did the best she could to comfort her, but the princess soon realized that the knight had deceived and manipulated her. She became angry, and rightly so. The knight had been so caught up in her need to protect the princess that she had been blind to how she could be hurting her. So she left the kingdom and returned to her home village, but not before sending the princess an eloquent apology letter. The princess missed her knight dearly and realized that it was really her that she loved, not the prince. The princess eagerly awaited the knight's return, but time went by and she heard nothing. Until one day she received word that her knight had thrown from her stallion and was badly injured. She rushed to the small village that the knight grew up in and stayed by her side until she healed. The knight, knowing that the princess was by her side, fought as hard as she could to stay alive. She recovered eventually and returned to the palace to protect the princess, as was her true duty. It was all she ever wanted. The princess had other ideas. She confessed her feelings, and the night was filled with such happiness that she could barely contain it. And they lived happily ever after.
I love that story.
I don't know, I'm thinking the knight should have just been honest about her feelings from the start, instead of trying to, I don't know, help the prince woo her.
Honestly, I don't think the princess would have been ready to hear it. She was still looking for a prince. She didn't realize her true love was right under her nose the whole time.
Well, at least they got their happy ending eventually.
That's not an ending. That's a beginning. We can do this.
Yeah.
We gotta work on it every day. We need to make compromises and be open with each other.
I know.
And no matter what,
I'm stuck with you.
you're catching on.
Okay, enough sappy stuff. Get writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it looks like we're gonna be here for a while. I'm getting coffee. You want tea?
Yes, please, babe. Thank you.
No?
Not babe. How about darling? Sweetheart? Pookie? Cutie pie? Cupcake?
Okay, I'm gonna throw up.
We'll work on it. Okay, now go. I need to focus. Bye.